NewsHour. A 6.0 magnitude earthquake hit Afghanistan late Sunday night, devastating entire villages. Thousands are believed to have been killed or injured, with hundreds feared trapped under the rubble. The quake's epicenter was in the eastern province of Kunar, over 100 miles from the capital of Kabul. William Brangham has our report.
In a matter of seconds, a multi-story building in eastern Afghanistan reduced to rubble. Through the night, people searched for their loved ones, often with their bare hands. The morning revealed the scale of devastation. Entire villages vanished, smashed into debris. "This is my village. It's all collapsed now," he said. A wounded man walked out after being trapped for hours. A child inconsolable over the loss of his family.
"This was my brother's house, and he, along with 3 of his children, were martyred. My other brother, together with his sons, was also martyred there. This is the condition of our home. Our dead are lying there on the ground."
Children are trapped under the rubble. The elderly are under the rubble. Young people are under the rubble. We need help here.
But getting help to them is very difficult. This is rough, unforgiving terrain, challenging to access even in the best of times. The quake was shallow, barely 5 to 8 miles down, and the shaking collapsed unreinforced mud and brick homes, leaving a wide trail of destruction. Since there are no emergency workers, villagers carry the wounded out on bamboo beds. The Taliban government has sent helicopters, but resources are scarce and the tragedy overwhelming.
That's just a drop in the ocean compared to what is needed in order to get people to safety and to normalize and stabilize the thousands of people who have been impacted by the earthquake.
Shireen Ibrahim is the country director for the International Rescue Committee in Afghanistan. She spoke to us from Kabul.
Roads have been decimated. Roads have been blocked. Landslides have occurred. And it is becoming extremely hard to reach those who need the support most. Many of these communities have been partially or completely decimated, which actually means that it may be too late for us to get to a place and to a point where we are able to save lives as quickly as we would like.
4 years of Taliban rule has left Afghanistan isolated globally, and foreign aid has largely disappeared. Even as the country endures a severe drought, along with widespread hunger and poverty, 23 million people, nearly half the country's population, is in need of aid.
The humanitarian actors are on the ground. We are ready, we're prepared, we are responding as of today. However, the resources, given the multiple crises that Afghanistan faces, the resources are quite stretched. My appeal is to set aside the politics and clearly to support the humanitarian effort that is currently underway in Afghanistan.
For a country that's already endured so much, this earthquake has left yet another landscape full of loss.
Rescue teams in Afghanistan are racing against time to find survivors after a devastating earthquake struck the region on Sunday, claiming over 800 lives. A 6.0 magnitude earthquake that injured over 2,500 people as well has left widespread destruction in its wake and brought the country to its knees. The visuals show the aftermath of the deadly earthquake. People were seen desperately going through rubbles in search of their loved ones. Afghanistan has long been prone to earthquakes, and this new tragedy has left a trail of fear in the minds of people. They are requesting the Taliban government to provide help to the victims of the quake.
The situation is still critical and an emergency. There are still slight tremors from the earthquake. May God grant goodness, but people are in a state of fear. Families have left their homes and gone out into open fields where they have been waiting since last night until now.
As part of the relief operations, Afghan military helicopters brought aid to the affected villages in the Kunar province and transported injured ones to a nearby hospital. In response to the devastating earthquake in Afghanistan, India has extended humanitarian assistance to the affected country. India's Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson Randhir Jaiswal shared images on social media of trucks loaded with sacks of rice and other essential food items being dispatched to Afghanistan. Additionally, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar spoke with Afghan Foreign Minister Maulvi Amir Khan Muttaqi, conveying condolences for the loss of lives and expressing solidarity with the people of Afghanistan during this challenging time. Furthermore, the United Nations has allocated $5 million from the Central Emergency Response Fund to help victims of the earthquake. In a statement, it said that the United Nations in Afghanistan will spare no effort to assist people.
The death toll from an earthquake in Afghanistan has now surpassed 1,400 people, with more than 3,000 others injured, according to the Taliban government. Rescuers are now in a race against time to reach the remote area devastated by the powerful 6.0 magnitude quake. For more on these efforts, we're joined now by Salam Al-Janabi with UNICEF Afghanistan, and he joins us from the country's capital of Kabul. Salam, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
So bring us up to speed on the situation on the ground right now. How badly is this earthquake impacting people there?
I think at the moment, the most shocking thing that we've all just been hearing is the rising death toll. That number is quite shocking. With it also, we're hearing that around 5,000 homes have also been destroyed. On the good news front, some of the blockages in the roads to access areas are easier today. Our teams, the UNICEF teams now on the ground, are able to reach areas that yesterday were more difficult. There are now 15 mobile health teams from UNICEF and other UN agencies who are also now able to access areas that probably yesterday were much more difficult. In terms of what we're seeing in the nearby hospital in Jalalabad city, our teams there are telling us since the earthquake happened, more than 550 people have been admitted to this hospital, men, women, and children. Furthermore, we are now getting a little bit more sense of the impact beyond lives and homes. Today, my colleague there was telling me that around 40 public schools are destroyed. UNICEF's community-based education facilities, so these are smaller ones within communities, we have around 44 there. Half of them are confirmed destroyed. So all of this is actually just the magnitude of it continues to really impact us. The big concern now, of course, beyond the health concerns and getting people out into safety, is shelter for these children and families.
So, Salam, the biggest concerns then, in the days following the disaster of this magnitude, like you mentioned, we're just starting to see a clearer picture of what's to come. But how is the healthcare system able to respond to this? Is it stocked full of resources? Is it struggling?
With difficulty. I mean, UNICEF is supporting around 60% of the health system here in Afghanistan. And the hospital that is in Jalalabad nearest and the other one in Kunar are supported by UNICEF and our donors, World Bank and Asian Development Bank. But they are stretched in terms of staffing. Now today, again, with talking to colleagues, we're trying to figure out how to bring in more nurses. We are definitely bringing in more medicines. Ambulances are being sent to Kunar province to support the hospital there. So the rescue operations are stretched, the health operations are stretched, and slowly we will be seeing other infrastructure as well, including water, things around nutrition and food. So with this magnitude, this is going to be something that will be impacting the lives of people for months, not even weeks.
Salam, the Taliban is asking for help from international organizations, but we know there's been a very sharp drop in foreign aid following the group's takeover of the country in 2021. Many countries are outraged over its treatment of women, for example. How do you think the Taliban administration, having them in place, how is that going to affect the response to and the recovery from the earthquake?
So the overall picture is working under this de facto authority as a UN aid operation is difficult. It is one of the most challenging environments I've worked in. I've worked in Syria, I've worked in Lebanon. This is really challenging. That said, we have exemptions that really help UNICEF and other UN agencies to do the work that they need to do. There are exemptions on women working within the health sector and within the education sector. Immensely important for us to reach girls, women with healthcare. Also, in terms of coordination with the de facto authorities, in situations like these, and unfortunately, I've seen 4 of these massive earthquakes in the last 4 years, the de facto authorities will coordinate with us in terms of where we're going. They don't hinder our work. That is very important. Our teams and partners are safe, and we can do what we do best and bring aid to children where they need. So while it's immensely challenging overall, at this moment, I think with so many deaths and so many injuries and need, everybody's just rising to the needed challenge.